What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Wallet Monkey channel, where we give you all the intel that you need to grow your wallet. Simple as that. So today we're going to dive into the rabbit hole that is called BMO Harris. Now this is a US branch or US version of the Bank of Montreal out of Canada, and this bank has a lot of different products that they offer. So we're going to go through some of those today. We're going to check in on what's required, the data points to get credit cards. They've got some pretty good reward cards. We're going to talk about the checking accounts, the savings accounts, and go through the rewards program. So that's what you got in store for you today. If you like this sort of thing, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification if you're not already. A large amount of our viewers aren't subscribed. I know people hate when you ask them that right out of the gate, but if you've been watching our videos for a while, then you should probably just already be subscribed, right? So, all right, so let's dive into it. I got my notes up. All right, first things first is, like many banks out there, credit unions out there, the game is to establish a relationship. It is relationship based. That is where a lot of banks are going through COVID times and beyond. I just assume this is going to become more and more popular, which it's going to make it really tough for you, because it's not like you want to go out and have, 10, 15 relationships with banks and 10, 15 checking accounts and 10, 15 savings accounts and, all this, right? That would be a little difficult to keep track of. Now, I don't mind having 10, 20 credit cards, but to have all those relationships with banks and monthly fees and all of that, it gets a little bit like redundant, and you got to start questioning some stuff to thin that out, because that's like a full-time job. So anyway, like many of those, the way in is with a checking account, like many of these institutions. And they are mostly based in the Midwest, so you can just kind of scroll in here just enough and then move it around, and it will kind of snap to locations when it finds them. See, like we found a bunch here, a bunch in Indianapolis, and so they are basically Midwestern. So if you were to just go and apply for a credit card right now, any of the rewards cards, you would get denied because they would want you to go in. Now, setting up a bank account is the way around that. So at least let it season up for a month. I've heard some people that let it season up for 12 months. They only put $100, $20 into the checking account, never really used it, and this still worked. So also too, after you've already established your online checking account, which takes up to like 5 minutes, they even claim that on the website, just takes 5 minutes, can apply from anywhere to get a checking account. They don't pull credit report, they don't pull check systems at the time of this video. No hard pull to get checking account set up. And then, like I said, let that sit at least for a month. Some people let it sit even upwards of a year, and then they go, and these people were immediately approved for a credit card. No geo restrictions applied. So there's that piece, right? Let's dive into some of the products, and I'll talk about credit scores and the rest of the data points. I was digging through here, and they've got savings accounts because they got a lot of stuff. They seem like they're more into like money market stuff, right? And they'll manage money for you, and it's kind of reminding me of like a more serious Wall Street, I guess, tool. So they've got retirement accounts, they've got IRAs, kind of standard stuff, mortgages, lines of credit, which I really like. A personal line of credit is better than a personal loan because you can kind of use it as you need it instead of getting the lump sum all at once. So those tend to be better. They got premier services, or services with for people that have a bunch of money. I thought this was interesting. This is their premier money market, so it's going to have higher requirements, right? Here we go. Premier Gold. This is like base level is $25,000 to $100,000. This is going to be your interest rate. 0.03%. This is why, like, guys, this is why nobody cares about savings accounts anymore. Like, this is just embarrassing. I'm working on a big piece I'm gonna put together for best interest rate on savings accounts, online, credit union, banks like BMO. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna kind of go across the boards and find the best ones in an upcoming piece, but they're not that exciting. And this is why so many people are in equities, and this is why so many people are in crypto. And, yes, you can talk about the volatility and the risk of all of that. And heck, most of the people are just speculators, and they don't actually understand what's going on in crypto specifically. And there's really no fundamentals to work off of either. But the rate that they're getting, even just sitting and holding something like Bitcoin, is astronomical in comparison to this. It's minimum 10 to 20% annually. So that rate is very, very different than this. So that's why more people are doing that. But anyways, if you're old school and you like to be risk averse, then these are some options that you could look at. I personally don't think they're all that great. The basic checking account was 0.01, and I think that was a minimum of $1,000. And then they got a CD product. Let me show you that really quick. The CD product was interesting, and we're going to bring that up again in just a couple minutes, because they've got a loan builder like many other banks and institutions out there. So the CD is 0.10 APY, and here is how that breaks down. So if we had a $5,000 amount, here's the terms and basically what you would get, right? I think CDs are still kind of interesting, pretty boring. Definitely a safe place to stock away some money in a bank that you trust, that you think is going to be around. Oh, $5,000 is minimum deposit required for the CDs. That's interesting because it's $1,000 minimum requirement for their loan builder, which we'll talk about in just a second. So anyways, that's that. They do have a basic savings account, which I don't even know why you would do that. But yeah, you could dive into this and they've got all their disclosures and whatnot underneath. All right, so here is the personal line of credit. This, again, once you're in the ecosystem, will be much better to get. Up to 15,000 here, personal loan up to 35,000. So that's pretty standard, like Lending Club, Prosper, all those do 35, 40,000, Goldman and whatnot. So that's a one-time lump sum. And then you see here, this is where I found the credit builder. But they also do have savings secured loans as well, based off of CDs, which is kind of like the loan builder, but I'm just assuming this is for higher minimums and higher amounts, right? All right, so here's the loan builder. Let's dive into that. It's a little confusing, but I guess we can just take this base rate, and that's the interest rate that they're talking about, because when we come back here, they say, okay, do it in 3 easy steps. We're gonna take out a loan to get a CD, and then we're gonna make on-time payments, and then we're gonna get our principal back and interest. So that interest must be that 0.1 or maybe less than that, because this is $5,000 minimum. So I'm assuming it's gonna be less than that, right? For 1,000, because $1,000 is the minimum here. So yeah, you get a CD and then they report it to the credit bureaus. But another thing I didn't really like / didn't understand is that it doesn't say, like, do they report to all three? I'm assuming they do, they're a big bank, but also too, like, when. They didn't really mention anything specifically about that. And that was it. So it's like, yeah, you put up $1,000 and you make auto pay payments on it. You get a 2% discount when you do auto pay, and that's it. Here's a real live example. Is, let's say, here it is right here. You borrow $2,000 because the interest rate is 8.42 to 9.20. You saw like what you're gonna make off of the CD. It's gonna be 0.10 or less. Okay, so if you borrow $2,000 at 6.74% interest rate and 8.42% APR for a 36-month term, basically you're gonna have 36 payments of $63, which turns out to be $22.70. So $270 that you're paying essentially in interest. And then you're getting a couple nickels back in terms of the interest that you accrue, rather, on your CD. So I'm pretty sure that's how it works, unless I missed something. But yeah, I thought, yeah, kind of mediocre compared to some of the other stuff that you can get into. Okay, so let's dive into the credit cards here. Right up front is they pull TransUnion FICO 8, and you should have a 720 or above in terms of credit score. I also have a data point of 760 plus for World Elite credit card. I just don't know if they still have the World Elite, or maybe it's this wealth management card that they've got now. It might have rebranded. We'll get more into the details in just a second, and I'll help you understand this 10% anniversary bonus, as well as 2 points for every dollar spent on basically quarterly categories. Okay, so these are like rolling, specials, and they, just like Discover and many others that do a quarterly category that you get additional bonuses on, they do as well. So the Platinum Rewards is the points card. You not only get 10% anniversary bonus every year, but you also get a welcome offer if you qualify for this sub or sign up bonus of 25,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months, and the bonus is paid out usually 3 to 4 weeks after that, okay? And then there is the Cashback MasterCard, which is $200 cashback when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months. These two bonuses, what's funny is that they're just about the same, okay? They turn out to be just about the same. I think this might actually be $250. And this one is $200. So very, very similar sign-up bonuses. The thing I will say is that there is no hidden gem. I know a lot of people are like looking for that. Like they're gonna find the ultimate reward card that gives you like 10, 20% back yearly. They don't work like that. Even this is a little bit misleading, this 10%, because what it ends up being over the course of 12 months is only a couple $100. But I guess my point is it's comparable to a lot of other cards out there, like an Amex and many others, right? There's that card, and then there is the travel card, and then there's gonna be the balance transfer card. So pretty similar layout to what a lot of banks have. This is where we get into annual fees on the travel rewards card, which again, with COVID, not a lot of people traveling, so I'm not really sure how valuable a card like this really is right now. And so They get a 15% annual bonus though. So I thought that was interesting. And then here's 10% and they get nothing here. So this is just a flat 2% cashback card, which there's a ton of these on the market right now, up to $2,500 quarterly, and then 1% cashback on everything else, which, I mean, you could even get better with a 1.5% cashback with like kind of subprime cards like CapitalOne cards. You can even get up to 1.5% back. So that's okay, but we're gonna mostly be talking about this one and slightly talking about this one. Okay, so this one is 3 points per $1 spent on eligible hotel, etc. Let's quickly break this down. 1 point does equal $1. That is worth noting. There is some institutions that it's not 1 point per $1. I know, and sometimes even what I was reading in a thread here is that some of the ways that you can redeem on this doesn't give you a full 1-to-1 ratio either. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I just couldn't find it. There's 28 pages in this rewards PDF, so it's loaded up. Base earn 1 point for every $1. Yep. Category bonus is what I was talking about, that quarterly rolling bonus offer. Here's a breakdown for the bonus earned categories. This table is cut off from up here, so you have to kind of like go up and be like, okay, so this is we got the platinum, then we got the premium, then we got the premier services premium, then we got the wealth management premium, and then you go down the line and here is the rate for 1 point per $1, 2 points per $1, etc. And then overall earn on bonus categories 2-to-1, 3, 3-to-1, right? Anniversary bonus 10, 15, 15, 20% on the wealth management card, which is not advertised on their site, which I think was the World Elite that pivoted to that. Yeah, it talks about here $2,500 is the quarterly cap on that category bonus. Okay, so let's talk about what that actually breaks down to be. So if you spent $10,000 on groceries per year, you'd get back in rewards $200 for the quarterlies, and the 2% for the 10,000 points, you would get $100, which is a total of $300. That's pretty comparable to, well, actually slightly worse than the Amex Blue Card Preferred, which you'd get about $400 in rewards. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be a little bit different, but they average $300 to $400 in rewards on that as well, which is 6% of the first 6,000 and 1% of the other 4,000. And then you can get, a ton of 2-3% cashback cards that end up giving you $200 or $300, respectively in rewards. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that the rewards, it sounds crazy. This is not like the Affinity credit card that we literally just did a video on, where you'll effectively get 10% cash back on the Amazon due to quarterly bonuses and then yearly bonuses. That was different than this, okay? So, and you would still want to figure that out to what exactly that translates to in terms of dollars. So this is like a $300 cash back, and then you've got 25,000 points, which I think would be another $250. So in that first year, if you qualified for this sub bonus, you're looking at $550, which starts to make this good, doesn't it? Whereas this is just a $200 cash back here. Okay, and then down here, you've got a sign up bonus of 3,500 points, or what I believe is $350. And that's when you spend $5,000 on top of the 15%, on top of what you're getting from the $2,500 quarterly spend on the revolving or rotating rewards offers. So some of this starts to get good. Of course, with the sign up bonus, I don't know how sparingly they give these out, but I will tell you that one of the big perks of this card that everybody loves, and is one of the largest data points I was able to collect across the spectrum, is that they seem very insensitive or non-sensitive towards inquiries. So they don't really care. So you could put this at the tail end of a game day or, sub spree. It would just be icing on a cake at that point, right? But using this as a primary or saving up an inquiry for this, I don't know if that's really worth it, because unless you have in a good to great credit score, will you probably qualify for the welcome offer? Yeah, again, keep that in mind. The last thing I want to talk about is in Canada, they actually pull both Equifax and TransUnion to get any of the credit cards. And last bit of information is that BMO in Canada will pull Equifax for credit cards, and they will pull Equifax and TransUnion for personal line of credit. Fun fact, there's only Equifax and TransUnion. Those are the only two major credit bureaus in Canada. So there you go, that's BMO Harris. If you've got fresh data points or you've got something that I missed, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below so we can update the article on the site. We'll be launching simultaneously an article covering everything that we just talked about here and giving you some additional information on BMO Harris. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just click the like button if you want to help us get this video in front of more people, grow this channel, grow this community. If you're not subscribed, of course, yes, second plug, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell notification. Thank you so much. See ya.